Hi, all you cool cats and kittens of the world. Here we are, back again with another baking video. Let's crack on, do this stuff. So you might be thinking what we're going to make today. Well, what time of year is it? It's Easter, isn't it? So what we're going to do, we're going to roast a bunny. No, we're not. We're going to make some cookies. We're going to put some eggs in, little mini chocolate eggs. And we're going to put some slightly larger chocolate eggs. And we're going to make sweet, delicious, gooey cookies, the sort of type of cookies that everybody loves. A nice little crisp edge, nice little gooey middle, big chunks of chocolate typically, but what we're going to have, we're going to have big chunks of sweet, delicious egg in there. So, let's crack on, shall we? Intermission. Gotta stay hydrated. Gotta stay hydrated when you're stuck indoors all the time. So first things first, what should we do? We'll mix our sugar. In this case, it's a mixture of caster and dark brown sugar. Dark brown sugar gives it a richer flavour. Make sure to preheat your oven to 160 degrees if you're on fan. If not, 170. Okay? So the cookies that we're making today, they're going to be one of those flat, chewy style cookies, one of those that you might get from like Millie's Cookies or somewhere like that. Those that you get in a 4 or 5 pack from Asda or something. The ones that you buy the 4 or 5 pack to share and then you eat them all to yourself while crying yourself to sleep. I've never done that. So, sugar. As typical, you want to cream your sugar and your fat together. We've got melted butter here. Sugar, let's plonk that in our bowl. Plonky plonky. So in here we've got his white sugar, we've got his brown sugar, we've got his melted butter. Now we want to cream that together as you would a typical cake. Obviously it's going to look a little bit different, but it's just what you do. You're going to get the fat and sugar molecules all nice mixed in together and homogeneous. I'm going to mix this and not talk. You'll all be grateful. Right, so we've creamed our butter and sugar together. We've got a big brown sludgy fatty greasy mass which looks delicious. What we want to do now is we want to add in our eggs. It's not a double yolker, it's 1 egg and an egg yolk for that extra creamy fatty delicious flavour. Plonk that in, and we want some vanilla extract. I'll measure a tablespoon of that. Oh yeah. What we want to do, scrape down the sides, get all that unmixed goodness, and set it back on to mix again until it's all mixed in and again homogeneous. We'll carry on using that term because it sounds good. Right, so that mixture now is all well mixed together. It's lightened up a little bit in colour. It's started to gain a little bit of thickness and texture. What we want to do is we have got some bicarbonate of soda and some salt mixed together. We want that mixed in with our plain flour, which we've got. Mix that all together. You want to mix it however you want. Let's just get the hands in. Why not? Right, so that one's to go into your wet mixture. And set that back on to mix. Mix until incorporated, mix until the dough stiffens up a little bit. You don't want to over mix, you don't want to mix too long. You want to make sure that everything is well incorporated. Halfway through we'll probably give it a little spatchy with a spatula. And then carry on with another little mix. We're giving it a little scrape down now just to make sure that everything is incorporated. But it's pretty much there. We'll give it another 30 seconds. Maybe not even that. 20 seconds, just mixing together. And we're done. But as you can see there, you've got a nice delicious cookie dough. It's thick, but not too thick. It's sort of mixable, pliable. It looks really delicious and edible. And because of the dark brown sugar, it's got that rich sort of golden syrupy flavour to it. So let's get our mini eggs plonked in there. There you go. We've got some micro eggs. Oh, we've got some big boys here. That one's mine. So these ones are Morrison's micro Easter eggs. They're just your traditional sort of mini eggs, but they're even, well, the micro eggs are even smaller. Just to give a little bit of diversity, really. We've got these micro eggs, and we've got some M&M's eggs, but every single different company out there seems to do their own version of eggs at the minute. So just have a look around, see what you fancy, see what you want to chuck in. This is one of those recipes you don't have to follow what I say in terms of the treats that you pop in it. Base recipe, you're probably best sticking to it, but get creative in terms of this type of stuff. Plonk what you want in there. Plonk a whole Mars bar in there if you really want to. It's not my fault if it turns out wrong, is it? Ooh, that's mine. Another way that you can do it is, if you want, you can get your uncooked dough, you can roll it up into a ball, sort of the size that you're wanting to cook with, and you can actually fold the individual eggs in. Just fold the eggs into it. Just like that. So you know exactly how many eggs you've got in there. But I'm not going to do that. I'm too reckless. So I'll put one pack of each in. To be honest, I'm thinking that's probably enough. I don't like it when there's too many of everything in there, but we'll see. So you can see there, we've got a good mix in there. I don't know, I might have to put some more in there. Plonk another other big in there then, shall we? Again, it's one of those things where you just get creative with it and just do what you fancy. Try to fold these in, don't mix the mixture too much. You don't want to make it tough, you just want to incorporate your individual little treats. So, right, it's time to put these out onto our baking tray. So, you want to get 2 lined baking trays. You would typically want to use baking parchment, but I looked in the cupboard and it wasn't there. So instead, what you want to do is you could just use your plain tray if you want. Regardless of what you do, I put some tin foil on here just to stop it sticking to the tray as well. And you want to cover whatever surface it is that you're going to be baking on with a thin layer of fat, as you would when you're making a cake and you line the cake tin with fat, just to stop whatever it is that you're cooking sticking to it. So in this case, I've put some tin foil on there and I've brushed some melted butter on there. So the best way to make these balls, you can use a spoon if you're a wuss, or you can get your hand stuck in there if you're a true specimen of a man like me. So get sort of like a golf ball size, roll it into a rough ball. Just bear in mind that these will spread out quite a bit, this recipe, and become really flat, really wide. So something like this, you want to leave a good, probably 2 inches perimeter around it at least. You probably have to bake these in batches as well, based on how much this recipe actually makes. So we've made sure that we've left enough room in here so that there's enough room for them to spread out. We'll just see how it goes, see how they spread out, and we can adjust accordingly for the next batch. Let's just do this. But at the same time, depending on how many shells you've got, we'll put another tray in there as well. Remember, there's no real right or wrong answer to a lot of these things, unless your mixture starts overflowing at the bottom of your oven and burning and smoking, and that's probably a bad decision. Probably a bad decision. Just made a song. Right, there we go. So, that's our 2 trays ready to go. We'll plonk them in the oven. We'll check back on them in about between 8 and 10 minutes. Probably around 10 minutes. Maybe go a bit more 12 minutes if you like them a bit crispier than chewy. But about 10 minutes for a perfect chewy cookie. So let's crack on with doing that now. Ready to go, bye-bye. That is the only way to have a cookie, isn't it? With a glass of wine. Okay, so we are now done with our cookies. Look at them. How incredibly beautiful are they? They look so good. I can't wait to eat them all to myself in here. So one thing we did realise that after doing the first batch, you don't want to flat them down. You want to roll them up into a nice ball, plonk them onto your baking tray. Make sure you leave at least a good probably 2 to 3 inches due to how much they actually spread. And just plonk them on there, chuck them in the oven. Give them about 12 minutes. You don't want them to go too much either side because you still want them to be gooey in the middle. You don't want them too over crispy. The first batch were left in there for almost 15 minutes and they just became a little bit too crispy on the edge. The second batch, 12 minutes, absolutely perfect. Almost undercooked in the middle, but just enough to be gooey and just a little bit crisp around the edge. Absolutely perfect. Right, so how about we crack into one of these bad boys? Let's have a little look, give it a little bit of a critique. See what we might want to improve, see what we're happy with. Let's do that. So this one is one of the original batch. As you can see, comparing it to one of the newer batches, slightly brown on the edges. The rise has been slightly different due to the fact that this one we pressed the tops down. This one we just rolled into a ball and plonked it on the tray. So definitely just roll it in a ball, plonk it on the tray. Due to the fact that the new batch is still cool, then we're going to have a little taste test on one of the old batch. So let's have a little look. So you've got a nice little crispy bit around the edge. The inside is still gooey. Break that up a little bit more. It's delicious. It's gooey. It's sweet. I'm not 100% totally convinced on the dark brown sugar. Perhaps light brown sugar may be better, but it's not wrong. It's not wrong in any sense of the word. It's still absolutely delicious. But yeah, the mini eggs, they've softened during cooking a little bit, so the shell isn't as hard, which is actually very, very pleasant for the biscuit. But again, this is the first batch that cooked for 15 minutes. Leaving it for 12 minutes, you'll have a much smaller, little crispy edge on the outside. The rest of it will be more gooey, delicious cookie, which is what you want. But if you do prefer a crispy cookie, remember, just leave it in for a little bit longer. An extra 3 minutes, you've got much more crispiness there. But all in all, it's an absolute success. So one thing I will say is it's an incredibly easy, fun Easter bake, perfect for the children and adults alike, but definitely for the children because it's so customizable. If you want to put some food colouring in there, do it. If you want to put whatever treats that you've got lying about your house, perhaps stuff left over from Easter, do it. It doesn't matter. Just chuck it in there and enjoy it. That's all I will say. Just enjoy yourself while you're doing it. That's the main thing that matters with anything in life, but most importantly, baking. You've just got to enjoy it, do what feels right for you, find what matters for you. So yeah, enjoy it, have a little go, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. So, shall we try cracking one of these open and give them a little try? Which one do we all want? Oh!